welcome to Dicefunctional, where a bunch of friends sit around, throw some dice, tell the story, and we share the story with you, our wonderful audience. Thank you everyone so much for being here. We appreciate your presence today. And hey, a special warm welcome to those of you who might be tuning in for the first time. Greetings and salutations to you, friends. We hope you enjoy your first taste of this group of friends and the game that we are playing and the story we are telling with that game. Welcome on in. Before we begin, though, as per usual, gotta let you know where to connect with us and where to get more in case this is your sort of thing and you enjoy your time here, which we hope you do. The first thing that you can do is, if you like watching things live, make sure to head on over to Twitch, twitch.tv/dicefunctional, where we play this very game live every Saturday at around 4 p.m. Eastern time. You can chat with us live as things are going on and experience the story live as it happens, because, hey, that's like the best way to experience these kinds of things, in my opinion. We also have games throughout the week. We do a whole bunch of things, and it's a great place to hang out, especially if you like the kind of vibe that we got going on here. If you missed some episodes or you want to catch up on previous episodes, I got some great news for you. Head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/@Dicefunctional, where we have all of our campaign 2. We have some really cool checkpoints, which will get you caught up with the story really quick if you don't want to watch everything. We have our entire campaign 1. We also have some one-shots, both in D&D and other TTRPGs, some art content, some gaming content. There's a whole lot of really cool stuff over there. So make sure to head on over there and subscribe, so that way you know when everything comes live. There you go. Really cool way to check that out. But if you don't like watching things, or if you're in the process of striking, because hey, that's the most relevant thing that's going on in the process of taking down capitalism, hey, you can head on over to wherever it is you get your podcasts, search Dicefunctional, and you can download all of our campaign 1 and campaign 2. So that way, while you're out there making sure that all of these absolutely filthy rich money grubbing assholes actually know what the fuck is coming to them, you can be listening to our podcast so we can help keep you entertained, while you're showing them what's what. And also, if you are one of those people, just know that we support you and we love you. If you want to connect with us on socials, we are at Dicefunctional everywhere except for on Twitter, where we are at Dicefunctional with an _. And if you want more information on the players and on the characters, search Dicefunctional wherever it is you do searching things. We have an amazing website. Links are in wherever it is that you are checking this out. So check us out there. You are all amazing people. But that's enough of me talking. We have a D&D game to get to. Come, take it away!
I already opened it.
You did.
And now we're all gonna fucking die. Are you proud of yourself?
The streak is continuing. Don't worry. Although I did warm up my dice, so my rolls might be different today.
I rolled 6 ones.
No one heard my...
How is that different from normal?
Where we last left the neighborhood watch, they had delved deeper and deeper into the cave system below North Eches in an attempt to find the way fountain that could potentially cure Zandy and, more importantly, Fitz.
Hey, Connor.
Yes.
You gotta turn up the mic a little bit, my guy. I got you maxed out here.
Is that better?
Yep, much better.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So where we had last left the neighborhood watch, they had just made their way further into the cave systems below North Eches, so they could find a cure for the curse afflicting both Zandy and Fitz, more importantly. In the process of doing so, you guys had come into contact with some humanoid creatures that did not appear to be fully there mentally, but were physically aggressive. You dispatch them after learning that they will willingly kill their comrades when wounded to make themselves stronger, and made your way further and further into the caves, eventually finding what appeared to be a city of some sorts deep underground, which appears to be crawling with even more of these creatures. And the city is, unfortunately for you all, square in the way of where you need to go. Now, if I recall correctly, last session you guys had decided to go through the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going around is too much.
Okay. So
Probably so much cool shit in it.
Sneak in.
So, Fizzy, you had just cast Pass Without a Trace on everybody.
My last one.
Your last one.
You're fine.
Make it count, bitches.
So, how would you like to go about doing this? It is a full city, of course. It looks to be fairly cramped. The building's quite run down. There are walls around the actual city itself. So how do you want to go about doing this?
I mean, we have to go straight through, right?
You have to go through, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, theoretically, it would be like closest path to like the least amount of time in the city as possible. Is I think our
Okay.
best option.
So you want to try and do you want to try and go as the crow flies though? So like try and climb over walls, climb over buildings, or are you willing to go onto streets?
I don't think we can climb buildings as a group very easily.
I'll die.
Yeah.
Streets are probably our best option. But like sticking to
yeah, stick as close to the walls, like hunched underneath windows, so sneaky, but still as straight as possible, without climbing.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Connor.
Yep.
Is there anything that looks like a church
Like a church?
or a temple?
I'll have a perception check. You can try to find one.
Cool. Oh, good. I still have a +8. I should know the numbers. 16 total.
16 total?
Yeah.
So there are definitely some taller spired buildings here that look like they may be something like a church. The architecture is different from what you're used to, so you can't know for sure, but just by size alone, there are a few buildings that might be that. They may have a bell tower, maybe, something of the sort.
Because my thought process is if these are undead things, they have no reason to go into places like that. So going around those routes near them, there will probably be less people. That's my thought.
Okay. Any other thoughts in character?
We left our big one in campaign 1.
Fair enough.
I think Granny's suggestion would be like just basically being between houses, like keeping the main street in sight, but going like behind. Trying to think like a
Use the character voice, you dork.
no.
Okay.
The problem is we're thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Would
So
you start?
howdy.
Howdy. Yep, that's
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
ye to the ha.
It might be easier to stay out of sight
Out of mind.
without going away from the map if we are like parallel to the street using the buildings as cover.
Does Fitz, does the map make us go straight through the city, or does it have a path around it? Like, around through the city? Connor.
Sorry, repeat that.
Is the map pathway we have, does it like go straight through the city, or does it also include like what pathway we should take in the city?
No, it goes straight through the city.
Well,
Straight
there-
through.
is there a way I can see a path of like quote unquote least resistance?
That would be a perception check.
Join me in Perception Land.
I mean, okay, it's clock. Sorry.
And these things were
Okay.
in the buildings, right?
Yeah, it seems like
22.
they were in buildings.
22.
Yeah. 22 total.
Yeah.
You can certainly set up you can think of a loose pathway to go through the city, but this is still very much an urban environment. So
Right.
you can only account for so much from a distance.
Yeah. Cities are not really my thing, so.
Well, they're not just not your thing. It's also a matter of you're looking at it from an outside angle. You
Yeah.
don't know where paths are blocked, roads have fallen away. You don't know where you can't go.
Okay, let's go.
Literally. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Wait,
as quiet
there's
as
nothing
as
else we
possible.
can glean
Yeah.
from being on the outside.
as quiet as possible. Let's just work our way through.
I have to stay close.
Yes, people who are sight challenged in the dark.
In the middle. So Granny and Tana in the middle.
Should I put my light out?
Normally, I would say yes. Let's
I don't-
wait.
Okay, weird suggestion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about turning Frog into callback campaign 1 an owl and sending Frog up above
Might not be a bad call.
and looking through so I could be like playing a top-down video game and I could see if there's little guys. Because owls have dark
Yes.
They have dark
vision.
vision.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would make
They-
sense if they
If they
did.
don't have dark vision, I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, they're just flying blind.
They have
man.
dark vision
Honestly,
and
vibe.
they have dark vision and they have advantage on perception. So
And they're quiet.
And
and-
they're cute.
it's only a +3 perception, but still.
+3 is better than
I don't
a
know, nothing.
negative.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so yes, I will owlify Frog.
You will take an hour to turn
minutes.
Frog.
10
What was
minutes.
that? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. You will take 10 minutes to turn Frog into a little white owl.
Bitch on the freaking frogs, gay.
I will say that you turn them into a barn owl so that they do still have that little mask shape on their face.
Little albino barn. It's very cute.
Motherfucker.
What?
Nothing. Just computer issues.
I like bird.
You like bird?
I like bird. I'm gonna Google barn owl so I can get some free serotonin.
So, you send out Frog above the actual city itself. So I would like a perception check from Frog, +3.
+3.
At advantage.
At advantage. God damn.
At least it's not it's only 10 total.
Yeah, it's a 10 total. That was not good rolls.
That sucks.
These dice haven't been nice to us, these two.
We've only literally rolled them for one
Last-
week.
Oh yeah.
Blame Connor.
It is Connor's fault. He didn't open the container.
Not my fault.
No, it's your fault.
We are a very superstitious bunch.
No such thing as curses.
That
No.
sounds like someone who's about to get cursed.
There's another one we just got, so thanks for that.
I don't believe in them.
I don't believe in you.
Well, you
All right.
best start
I'm not
believing
Santa
in
Claus.
ghosts
It's a good
because
thing it
you're
doesn't fucking matter.
in one. What?
What?
You're in a ghost.
Is it a sexy ghost?
Is it consenting?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Come on now.
Okay. So what was your roll again? Total?
10 total.
10 total. The owl form of Frog is only able to see so much from their position up top. What Frog will note is that there are definitely forms moving through the city. And you can see the normal-sized humanoid-looking ones. And you can see the ones that look to be a little bit bigger. But you will also occasionally see larger forms, which have started to stray even further away from a humanoid appearance. They now appear to have more than just 4 appendages.
Fantastic news. They get even bigger.
How is that good news?
It's not. It's a joke. It's terrible news. They're around, surely, city, but hopefully we're quiet enough to avoid them. Really hoping.
Me too.
I don't want to
Would not.
die to these.
Would not want to get into a tussle with these guys.
They seem kind of mean.
Especially not in the heart of what seems to be their city. I feel like we're a bit outnumbered, but
We'll be really quiet. We'll try and hide as much as we can, and hopefully we'll come out the other side. Okay.
Hey Connor, did we roll last week to see if we knew of any cities that were abandoned in this area?
No one rolled for that.
Can I do that as a... Because we're in the Underdark, right?
No.
Well, is it just a history check?
Be basically a history check, yeah.
Okay, I'm not 100% great at history, but I'm not the worst.
The only other person would be me, and I'm terrible at history, so...
Fitz is right here. It's
No, I'm
technically...
saying...
Oh, for Underdark.
Underdark stuff? As I'm saying.
pretty good.
That is a 22 total.
You can say confidently that you have not heard of any drow enclaves that were in this area.
So it's probably not a drow city.
No, most likely not.
Interesting.
Well, let's do this. I'll lead the way.
Round of stealth checks from everybody.
Remember, add 10.
Advantage.
Add 10. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I can't give people.
That is disappointing.
Yeah, Julia's still at disadvantage too.
Yeah, you go for second die.
I'm gonna let you roll first.
Damn it.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
That is disappointing.
I curse you all with being physically tired.
Is Pass Without a
I'm
Trace
already
still up or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
it was
is?
recast.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You add 10 to whatever.
Yep.
That's not bad.
Okay. Jace, what did you get?
Asher got a total of 19.
19 total. Kaz,
I got 15 on the die plus my proficiency plus.
So 35?
35.
Yes.
God damn.
You're gone.
Rogues.
You just disappeared out of
Rogues
Yes.
basically
dust.
don't have to roll with Pass Without a Trace. They just
I don't even.
they
bother.
vanish. They cease
I
to
think
exist.
when we do stealth, we should go. Jace, what'd you roll? Jolly? We know. Anyway,
Only tell us if you roll a nat 1.
Or that 20.
Or a nat 20.
Yeah.
And you actually
Only tell us
phase
if you
out
get
of
a
existence.
21 or a 40.
Jeez.
Even a natural 1 for Kaz is literally a 21 with Pass Without a Trace.
Fucking ridiculous.
It's
I
so
know.
insane. I love it. It's okay. We need you stealthy.
Jess, what'd you get?
14 on the die plus 3 for 17, so 27.
Joe?
8 plus 1 plus 10, 19.
Michelle, what did Fizzy
I
get?
got the natural 20 this time.
You got a natural
Nice.
20 this time. That's good.
Hella.
So plus 10 plus 2. So 32.
You still don't even hit the
You can't
rogue's number.
Touch.
I can't touch the
Can't even
rogue's number.
I
touch
even have
Kaz's
to
numbers.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
I didn't even
yeah.
have
Not
to roll
even
a
with a
20.
natural fucking 20. I don't think anybody else in this group can come even close
No.
on a nat 20.
I can when I'm not rolling disadvantage.
I
I'm
think you
above
are the-
that bit.
Yeah, you're the closest.
But I'm good at perception. Like, I'm good at other things.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Granny, what'd you get?
Granny did really well for Granny. She got a 19 on the die, so altogether it's 32.
Nice.
Also a 32.
Damn.
Nice.
Still can't touch Kaz.
Nope. But
Uh,
it's not built that way.
Tana, what'd you get?
With Path Without Trace, this is going to be plus 17. I rolled on the die a 19 and a 2.
Okay, so another
Oh.
19.
I told you, disappointing.
That
Mm,
sucks.
I mean, to be fair though, the 19s are our lowest rolls.
19
That's
total.
pretty good.
It's still good, yeah.
Not a 36.
With the party, where are my dice? Did I never
Where
take
are
my
your
dice out?
Opening
Good.
up the soda too early, not taking out dice.
That's why you should. I opened up a soda into the thing and no one heard it. I don't think.
No, because your mic didn't pick it up.
Your mic's got a noise gate on it.
Bullshit.
I don't have my physical dice. They're somewhere in a box.
That's on you.
Moving's fun. I don't know where everything's gone. It's somewhere.
It's all
smart.
gone.
Half this group is going to have moved in like the space of like
The end of the year.
Months.
yeah.
Because one of you moves soon. If I get the job, I move soon. This one follows me a few months later.
I'm moving at some point.
I moved a year ago.
When? Cody did move recently.
Yeah.
Okay. So 19th lowest. Okay. So,
Great.
you all apprehensive and worn out from the days. Actually, no, the day or so underground, because it's been about a day, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
It's 3 people who are exhausted who rolled the 19s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exact
is,
same
isn't
roll.
Evie.
That's perfect, actually.
Yeah,
You guys begin slinking your way into this forgotten underground city. And as you are making your way in, it's difficult to not stop for a moment and marvel at the sights. It is very clearly a location that was built with care and a certain amount of love in the architecture itself. Owing itself to these very hexagonal designs where they're all very polygonal and sharp-edged. It looks like it was done with a lot of care and a lot of patience, as they are smooth as glass and sunspots where it's still in relatively good condition. You can also see signs of engravings, patterns that are geometric patterns that are etched along the actual stonework. It is gorgeous, and the block setup of the actual city itself also appears to follow that hexagonal design, where the blocks are not blocks, they are hexes, with small inroads that go between buildings inside of each hex. As you guys make your way further and further inside, you can also see that this place was a mixture of not just commercial and industrial buildings, but residential as well. Just judging by the smaller size and the more comfier exteriors, which looked like at one point some of them may have been painted, maybe some with very bright colors, others more muted with accenting marks on them. It looked like these buildings were intended to be individualistic in some way, shape, or form. Now, are you guys going to try and make your way? You guys still wanted to make your way towards that church, right?
Do you want to?
I just thought it would be because there would be less people around it. But I leave it up to you guys.
I can't see, so I can't plot around.
Fair
Also,
enough.
I want to be nosy because we might be able to get more insight about what this place was if we go near a church.
I mean, I guess, but I feel like is that like church like out of the way?
Not particularly, no.
We can head towards it then.
Yeah.
Most
Okay.
churches are part of city centers, which is why
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah. Like I don't want to like go out of our way for it. Is what
No,
I mean.
no, and
you
I would
wouldn't-
never ask us to.
You wouldn't be making a trek that far out of the path. It's not a huge deal.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
then yeah.
We
Okay.
could possibly get some insight over what this city once was.
Isn't that what I just said?
Yes.
As you guys begin making your way towards closer to the church-like area, you will see that this city is still inhabited. It is not inhabited by normal people, though. They appear to be the same monstrosities that you saw previously and fought previously. You don't hear chit-chat, you don't hear conversations, there's no odd vocalizations coming from them. The ones that you see appear to move past one another without paying much attention, and they do not chitter or chirp or make any kind of sound to speak between one another. They move quietly without paying a single heed to anybody else in the world. And there are even moments where you guys realize that the anti-magic cone of one of the larger ones may have passed over you briefly as all of your magic items flicker and stop working for just a brief moment, as something turned a corner and looked over you all and didn't see you. And there are a few moments where it's even a little too tense for your comfort. But you will see that a majority of the critters inside of the city itself don't appear to be doing much in the way of idling on the streets. They are only moving between locations. And you will note that there are a handful that will occasionally make their way into one building on its own and close the door behind it. Now, as you all are keeping an eye out on what's happening and observing the area around you, you'll also know that there are a fair number that will be leaving the city proper. They come out in small groups or squads, whatever you want to call them, sticking towards one another in small packs and making their way outward towards who knows where. Now, highest perception check was you, absolutely. But you were looking for a pathway. Can you just roll me a perception check in general, Michelle?
Yep, I can. 19.
19?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all begin making your way closer and closer to this church-like area. And you'll see that it looks like it was some kind of a square or a center area at one point. There are other buildings nearby that look like they may have held purposes, such as blacksmiths, traders, what have you. They aren't that anymore, and they likely won't be that for a very, very long time. But the church-like location that you're seeing is a spire of a sort. Tower would be the more accurate term. You can see that there are some structures down low at the actual base of it that look to be maybe entranceways, locations for civilians to come in at some point. You're not sure, but sprouting from the back center of this is a hexagonal tower that rises upwards and then does have an opening for something that would be either a watchtower or a bell tower at one point. You're not sure. Michelle, Izzy's been keeping an eye out this entire time, of course, and you feel fairly confident in the stealth of you and everybody else here, but perhaps it is the overload of information. Maybe it's the situation you're in. Maybe it's exhaustion starting to get to you as well. You didn't notice until you got really close to that church tower that there is something up on the top of the church tower. And it looks like it's moving around.
I don't know who's next to me or behind me. Is it Fitz? Is it? I'm assuming it's Fitz.
It could be.
It's like whatever you want.
Yeah.
It can be whoever you want it to be, baby.
Yes,
Just reach
and.
back and grab someone.
That's it. It's not gonna be Tana.
It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Tana. I don't think it's gonna be.
It's gonna be
Granny.
Darius, because Darius is in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna be Darius.
It's either.
It's one of you three.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody.
I'm gonna roll for it. Hold on. Roll for it.
Fine.
Okay. So it's Asher.
Okay.
So she like grabs Asher and she's like, something up there.
All right.
Up in the there's I don't know if necessarily going inside is the best idea. There's something up there, so
Asher, you can only catch like the barest glimpse of it just due to the lighting.
Yeah.
even with your night vision.
Yeah.
It is a large form. I would put it at like size huge would be the best way of describing it for you guys.
Wings?
No wings.
No wings. Legs?
Let me describe it, you fuck toy.
All right.
Eyes, arms, legs,
I understand you're
Oof.
excited, but let me describe it.
Letters.
Ass?
Hair.
Does it got an ass?
Is it hot?
Is it hot?
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay.
So you can see
Asher
what looks
wouldn't
to
think
be
so.
a very long central body that appears to be kind of coming off of this creature, and it almost wraps around the exterior of the building and it goes in between like the supports and struts on the very top. You would almost describe it as centipede-like, but it takes a moment to realize exactly what it is. It is the bodies and the torsos of humanoids that have basically kind of stitched themselves together, like shoulders and pelvises, to
I'm
then
sorry.
create what?
Did you
Like
make
a-
a human
It's
centipede?
human
It's like a
centipede.
centipede
fucking
made out of
game.
humans.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Oh, why?
But you can see that there are no signs of any heads anywhere. The closest
So no
thing to a
head.
So no head.
no.
Sorry.
Don't forget how this cave adventure started. You will see that the closest thing to a head is at the very front of this creature, where those almost flower-like blossoms that you saw from the smaller, well, the larger versions, almost have begun to cluster outward, and you're looking at this massive ball of these fleshy flower-like growths with the bulb-like eyes coming out and moving all around.
So it's not hot.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Unless if you're really into fractals and human centipedes.
How about we just go? I don't want to
Look,
tussle with
here
something
is
like that.
here is the thing. Let me put this bluntly. Do we have any sort of reason to try to figure out more about this place other than just simply curiosity?
We can figure it out on the way back when people aren't exhausted and Fitz is fixed.
That is kind of what I am thinking. Whatever this is, I don't feel like we're ready to take this on at the moment.
Absolutely not.
Put a
Where?
pin in it. Come back to it.
Hey, Connor,
Right. Put a pin in it.
can I watch its behavior real quick?
Sure. So like, excuse me. So like, you're trying to analyze it and try and understand what it's doing, or
Yeah,
okay. I would say that'll be an insight.
figured, but I don't know why I get annoyed at insight. I have expertise.
You're like, I fucking figured it was one that I was really good at. Jesus Christ.
That is
How
a
fucking
19.
dare you? How fucking
19
dare
total.
you make me roll something I'm good at doing?
Whereas I'm like, please make me roll something I'm good at. Please God.
Shut up, nerd. Roll athletics.
Yeah, but it's a 19 total.
So looking at this creature, first off, you think that thing probably has significantly better perception than most anything else in this area. So you count at least about 16 of those 32 of the hardened like pearl-like bulbs that are coming out. So it's definitely got more eyes. But it's staying up there entirely. It's not moving from its position. It's not going down. It just kind of keeps a constant swivel where it looks around, adjusts position slightly, looks in a different direction. It always stays up there. Judging by what you already know of these creatures, where those pearls, eyes, can be hit together to produce a very loud noise, you would guess this thing is effectively like a watchdog. Whether it is
There's your church bells.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it's the world's worst set of church bells.
Oh God.
The world's best CCTV.
I just
Something
had
like that.
a horrible thought that I might have to message Connor about because I don't know if he even thought about it. But it's A, meta, and B, it would probably terrify everyone, so...
Yeah, you can just message it to me privately.
Yeah.
But after watching it for a second, Darius will go, definitely deal with it after we're done with everything else. That thing's watching.
Alright. Well, let's continue going then.
Be extra quiet.
Okay.
Another round of stealth checks, everybody.
Oh god, I'm not gonna get a natural 20 this time.
No, probably not.
Alright.
Granny is doing so well. If we get into a fight, I'm gonna miss everything.
Kaz, what'd you get?
You're gonna ask Chase what I guess is that.
I like shuffling down the row with who I start with. I start with Jace, then I move to you, then I move to Jess and Jill.
I roll a 17. I don't. I
Or
know.
37.
So 37.
We get it.
Yep.
You're sneaky.
good.
I'm not gonna bother.
It doesn't bother us, it's very funny.
It's very good.
Just like when Dea would get like a 45.
You bring our group average up, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You fixed the bell curve.
Sadly, it is not rated on an average.
Unfortunately, no.
No. It's number of
It's gonna be a good
successes. Darius.
That is a dirty 20.
Fitz.
9 plus 1, 10, 20.
Okay. Busy.
13 plus 2, 20 plus 10, 25.
Okay. Granny.
Dirty 20 plus 10 for 30.
Tana.
14 plus 17 for 31.
Okay. And Asher. Natural 1.
Natural
okay.
1.
Oh,
I didn't even have to roll disadvantage. It was a natural 1 right off the get.
You know, at least the rest of us did really well to make up for.
Natural 20.
We're gonna run. I would say that right now. We're fucking.
Busy, do you have your oracle die?
That's.
I used it.
Jace got 2 natural 1s. Cass is fine. Dirty 20 from Darius. Fitz got
A dirty 20.
another dirty 20.
Ty goes to defender.
Yeah, Ty goes a dirty 20 is lower than a 25, Michelle.
Okay, I'm just saying.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
No, well, what did you roll? Dirty 20, right? Fitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
got 4 fails and Kaz. So 4 fails, 4 successes.
It's 4 and 4.
Yeah. But one of them is a nat 1.
So you all begin trying to make your way away from the watchdog, sneaking your way further and further to where you know that out of the city should be, or at least where the path is telling you to go. As you are doing so, you guys will see again the familiar flicker of your magic items stopping for a moment, and just for an instant, Asher, your arm will drop and it will clatter against the ground. You pick it back up really quickly, but now all of you are holding your breath because you are now aware that the magic cone has not moved away from you all.
How far do we think we're from the outside of the city?
You still have a fair way to go. I mean, if you wanted to like go as the crow flies, that's different. You could make your way out pretty quick, but that
Even
means
if we-
going over buildings and walls.
And that will slow us down because there's no way.
Quick, everyone act like the.
I literally thought about that, but
Natural.
hold on. The problem is that would be a performance check, and I know.
No. I honestly
Yeah.
think
Bad news, guys. I have to tell you all, you're nerds in this campaign, not theater nerds.
That was last campaign.
I think our best option might be to just
Stay in character, please.
okay.
Because I'm going to start describing things that are happening.
I was about to say, Darius would not run. She would walk slowly until it was a threat. It's possible it's just watching us.
Fitz would not move until Fitz thought we were found. Like, if the beam stayed there but nothing was happening, it was just like looking in our direction,
Mm-hmm.
it would be very much like,
Yeah, Granny's gonna like be like, don't move. It's not sounding the alarm yet. It might not know that we're a danger yet.
It also might see some things by movement.
We have no idea how good this eyesight is.
Shut up, Connor.
You guys all stop. And you will hear the distant sound of something.
Jeez.
And Fizzy, you'll become aware that a smaller one has begun making its way around this area. It doesn't seem like it has seen you, but it does seem like it is looking for you.
These looking.
Is there somewhere we can hide?
We're
Building?
standing beside a church.
There are nearby buildings, and there's always the church.
So we haven't moved away from the church like at all.
You haven't moved very far from it. Not like you can still try to go back into it.
I don't think the church is the best option because there's a big thing on top of it.
It doesn't
Doesn't mean it can see in
it doesn't mean it's gonna see inside.
But it's also, if it's told, if something does see us go into the church, it is the closest thing to the church, and it can just.
My advice is just go inside the nearest building and we get out of sight and we stay quiet.
Something with multiple exits.
Probably. But we don't have a lot of choices right now. So she's gonna kind of push towards the nearest building.
Granny, you begin pushing yourself towards the nearest building. You guys can all now hear more of the smaller steps beginning to kind of move around this area and try to search for you all. So, Granny, you are moving to the nearest building. Granny,
is
I'm going to have
following.
you roll me a d20.
Okay.
Just a flat d. This is luck. That's all it says.
Sorry, gang. Trying
Oh.
to help.
12's not horrible.
Oh, okay.
not too shabby. That's a surprise. That's the amount of guys in the building you just. It's 12.
Natural
of them.
one would have been
Guys,
better,
come
actually.
We'll come back later.
Yeah.
Close the door.
The cruelest turn of the screw ever.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, you needed a
a
natural
natural 20.
one.
I've done that before,
there's
actually.
20 guys.
Not to this extent, but I've
There
done
is a
that
secret
before.
Easter egg. If you roll a 5 on the die, you open it and it's a burger place.
Delicious.
They have good fries.
There's 5 guys in there.
Yes, we should have talked to the merchants beforehand.
Ah, dang! They would have joined us.
Fitz, you are falling behind Granny.
Mhm.
Other characters, what are your actions going to be?
I'm gonna go with them.
You're falling behind.
Staying with other people because I can't see far.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Asher.
So for the buildings, is there like space between the buildings, or are they like in rows?
There are alleyways, but there are some buildings that are also kind of like butting up against each other. The one that it looks like Granny's moving herself towards looks to be something like a shop of a sort, so it has alleys.
Okay. And the exit on the other side, will it get us into an alleyway, onto a main street, or actually, will it get us onto an alleyway? Will it get us into like onto the main street?
It would be getting you onto an alley.
Onto an alley.
Like a side road or an alley at best.
Okay. And that one looks like it's going towards the exit where we need to go?
Roughly.
Okay. Asher is also gonna start making his way.
Costella?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, well, I'm the fastest one here.
You are.
technically. I mean, I could do the stupid option.
You were
Follow
also
your
the
heart.
stealthiest by far, so
Yeah, you
I
you
can
would have
distract
passed.
it if you want me to.
Well, before you say that,
no.
Okay, Darius, I'll have you go first instead.
Darius looks down at her feet, where there is a little black cat.
Oh my god.
Don't you dare.
And Darius is just gonna quietly say, "You'll come back. I can't." Pick him up.
If you touch me, I'll scream.
I need an adult. I need an adult.
And throw him as hard as she can out.
Oh. Just the ultimate betrayal of Luce.
Betrayal.
Try
Luce
to get her
does-
to sell her soul.
Luce is literally trying to get me to sell my soul.
Yeah?
He can work for it.
can
I'll
work
sell
for
my
it.
soul.
Kaz, so you watch as Darius picks up Luce and then just throws him as a distraction. What are you gonna do, Kaz?
It's not my cat. It's not my
Okay,
pavilion.
yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Hell yeah.
My monkey, not my circus.
I'm a monkey to my circus.
I don't know. I didn't really think this far. I didn't realize Darius was gonna throw the cat. out of
The
nowhere.
juxtaposition of Kaz being like, I could distract these monsters for everybody. I'm so strong and so stealthy. And I could, and then in the
Cat.
background, like stick figure Darius is like,
Like a hand grenade.
I'm sorry, it's a magical cat.
Spider Noir versus Spider Ham.
I'm gonna have to require a decision from you two now. What are you doing?
Oh, I thought all I had time to do was throw the cat.
Oh, okay? So you've thrown the cat while everybody else has made their way in. Kaz, what are you doing?
We know it's a big target. Well, it's one of the smaller ones, right?
The ones that are looking around the they're smaller.
They're smaller, but are they following us right now?
They're looking around the area where they last heard the clang of metal. To begin with, I'm going to address the cat in the room in a second.
Nah, I'm just gonna follow. I'm just gonna, leave the cat as is, honestly.
Okay. You make your way into the building with everybody else while Darius has thrown loose. Everybody else, you make your way inside the building while Darius is trailing behind. And you hear the distant of a cat. And then you do hear the sound of creatures beginning to move their way towards the noise of the cat. Darius, do you follow behind everybody else and make your way inside? Okay.
Yeah, now that I've done what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Why
Well-
are you smiling?
Me?
This would be in character.
Oh, he's trying to get me to sell my soul. I feel like this is fair. He also can't die. He's a magic cat. He'll come back.
You know, I'm not too pressed right now about the ethics of this.
There's
I
a
just
small
want to
part
get
of
us
me-
out of here in one piece.
There's a small part of me that feels a little bad. But also, I would rather be alive.
He broke me up this morning farting on my face.
That's just regular cat behavior. You realize that, right?
That is a rotten smell coming from him. His insides are dead.
Regular cat.
I'm
But
The building-
an
the
eye
buil-
out.
The building you all have made your way inside of looks to have been a shop at one point. You can see that there are cases that are now open. I won't say broken, but they are now open. There is no signs of anything in regards to actual merchant. Actually, no, I take that back. All of the merchandise is still here. And all of the cases are unbroken because I just realized what I was saying didn't make sense for given the circumstance. Everything's still here.
What shop is it?
Looks to be a jewelry store.
Oh.
Oh no.
I had to
You
ask.
don't say.
Kaz, do you want to roll that, wisdom?
I have to roll the wisdom.
Do you have to roll
No.
the wisdom?
Klepto check.
So that's a natural one. I'm just gonna.
Start
Better
grabbing
now than-
everything.
Cannot resist free jewelry.
It's
Holy
okay.
shit, this-
Asher is helping.
Are there
Uh,
diamonds?
I was just about to say, and while that's happening, Asher is gonna specifically grab everything that's got diamonds in it.
Just don't break the glass. Do
I
not
will.
make noise.
I
No.
will say. I will cast silence if we do start breaking shit.
Everything's so quiet. We're just all like, "Oh my god, we're being so stealthy." We look over, Cass.
Violent and smashing might be a lot faster than breaking.
Gaz, if you want to cast silence and start smashing shit, go right ahead.
Hell yeah.
All right, hold on.
Wait.
Castella, hold on a moment.
Mm.
Let's take a moment before we go smashing things. We may have a bit of extra time. Can somebody who is better at this than I am take a listen to what is going on outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
25.
25 from Fizzy.
Fizzy's got it. I rolled a 7 plus 8, so.
So, Fizzy, you are paying closer attention to the creatures outside as they have actually begun to flock towards where Luce was thrown. Darius, you can't help but pay attention to the distant sounds of Luce going.
Feel a little guilty. I changed my mind.
So they definitely are distracted by Luce. How long they will be distracted by Luce is a different question. You don't know.
Depends on how long he puts up a fight.
There's also the matter of if he comes running back towards us.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think he'll be too pissed.
Connor,
Yes.
as we're looking through this, as we're obviously have been through this building, are there light fixtures?
There are light fixtures.
Okay.
Well, light fixtures.
Yeah. Is it magical or is it like oil lamp type of thing?
It looks like just like oil lamp of some
Okay.
sort. In this case, it'd be something like peat moss, but like it's like something.
A fuel lamp of some sort. Okay. Do they come off the wall or no?
They're light fixtures. They're on the wall.
Okay. Granny, Tana. Why don't you barricade the door that we came through? You can put on a light or two on the interior here. That way it won't make it outside, but you'll at least be able to move around a little bit. We want to let these creatures move a decent bit away from us. Or at the very least, let them kill loose. And then they will stop looking for us. We need to give them time. We need to give this time to settle. Otherwise, they're still going to be on high alert. But in case he comes running back to this building, we need to barricade that door. So that way he can't come in and get to us. So if we do that, guys, we have time to go look into this jewelry. We have a little bit of time to do things now. In case people need to take a short rest or something.
All right. I mean, barricading the door seems like a good idea anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll do that.
All right. Is there an upstairs?
No, there's a basement, but there's no upstairs.
Okay. If
I
it
want to go to the basement.
There you go. Asher is going to take 10 minutes or 11 minutes to ritually... is it 11 minutes or is it 10 minutes? To ritually cast Detect Magic. 10 minutes.
Plus 1 round.
Yes, 10 plus 1 round, so yeah, 10 minutes basically.
No, Detect Magic's only an action.
Yeah, 10 plus 1 round.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, 10 plus 1 round. Yeah. I thought you were saying a minute. Well, brain's catching up.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, Asher's going to do that. And then help Kaz looking through this jewelry.
Okay. Kaz and Asher, please start making investigation checks as you are looting this jewelry store.
They're not using it.
Jewelry store at the end of the apocalypse, and you guys are looting it.
Yep.
Look, just
Well,
because
we're
we're
not in the
down here,
apocalypse.
I need to steal shit, okay?
All right, that's fair.
What am I?
This
Yeah,
shit
you
is
two-
vintage.
It's antiques, actually.
Antiques,
You two
yeah.
are rolling investigation checks.
Can I help?
Yes, you
Kaz?
may. Well, actually, you don't need to help Kaz, because bear in mind, Kaz has advantage on finding hidden things. Remember?
Yes. Okay. And I'm assuming no. I'm
Yeah,
just
you just
rolling
roll.
disadvantage. Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Okay.
While
Gotcha.
you're doing that, Granny, you're barricading the door. Athletics check. Anybody else have actions they are trying to do right now?
I'm
going to
keeping
the
an eye out.
basement.
Yeah.
You're keeping an eye out. Perception check from Fizzy again, as you are being the watchdog. Darius Fitz.
Basement.
You're going into the basement. Fitz, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Standing in a panic.
Kind of. Just kind of standing in the middle of everything that's happening, like.
May I point out one thing for Fitz past their panic? You are looking at an untouched city that appears to be pre-schism. This place could be a gold mine for old books, in theory.
Yeah, but I don't know how many books are gonna be at the jewelry store.
It's true, but there are other buildings.
But that's not happening.
Tana, what are you doing?
Way back, on the way back.
Well, she's not helping barricade because she's very weak and has disadvantage and would probably just create a bunch of noise. Her top priority is making sure that there's another exit to this building that won't involve ripping down the barricades that are being set up.
Okay, that's fair. I'll have you just do a general perception check as well then. So we're gonna go to third in the row. So, Darius, you are going into the basement.
Yeah.
As you make your way down to the basement area, you are cautious at first, thinking, "What if I step on a creaky stair?" And then you realize everything here is made of stone. You don't have to be concerned with that. So as you make your way down into the actual basement itself, it is pitch black, and the only way that you are able to see is due to your drow, your drow personage. So inside of this basement, it looks like it was a storage facility of some sort / office. As you can see, that there's a small side room where it looks like a little closet was converted into an office of a sort. There's a desk, there's a small chair, and there is what looks to be paperwork and various other writing utensils. Further into the storage area, you can see that there are all sorts of things down here, many of which are in boxes, many of which look to be made of probably a magicked form of stone, so that it is about as heavy as a wooden box. So it's still heavy, and it would still make noise if you tried to break it, but they're boxes.
Means they can be opened.
Which means they could theoretically be opened with something like a pry bar or what have you. If you'd like, you can roll an investigation check down here. Or if you have something specific you'd like to look at, you can tell me. Either way.
Just picking a die. Hold on. I haven't rolled well in investigation in a while, even though it's my best skill. So I'm feeling a little nervous. A little anxious.
That's a good sign.
That's probably either a +1 or a -1.
Did they get a +1 coming forward?
+1 going forward.
There it is.
Okay, that's good.
I told you, I haven't. It's so unfair. I'm an investigator who can't investigate.
I'll get to you in a second.
That's a threat.
Asher and no, sorry. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. I forgot I need to loop around. Fizzy, what was your perception?
20, 30, 20.
20. Cool. I'll tell you if anything of note is occurring.
Okay.
Granny, athletics.
Got a 16.
16. Okay. Tana just posting up and. Oh, right. You were looking for ways out. Perception check.
Yeah.
What was it?
That is health +5 for 17.
17. Okay. So Granny, you're able to barricade the door fairly well. You feel pretty confident in your results. Tana, you would be able to find another way out. It is not a door, mind you. It is a window. So while it's not opportune, it's good enough. Asher and Kaz, you two are stealing from a jewelry store.
Yep. On brand.
On brand. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So what'd you guys get for rolls?
I have on here a 17 and I'm burning a flash of genius for a 21 total.
21.
And I do have detect magic up.
Okay.
Just in case.
Alrighty, I'll keep that detect magic up in mind. What did you get, Kaz?
I got, well, because it was advantage for finding hidden objects, I got an 18, which is my highest. My lowest was the 2.
Gotcha. Okay. So you guys would both be able to find a very good hoard of jewelry here. I will be honest, you'll most likely steal a good 2,000 gold worth of jewelry from this building, without having to do too much smashing, as there's a key in this jewelry store. You just, one of you found a key. Just unlock the cases and you just lift them up and start taking things. That's it. But you guys are able to get a good 2,000 golds worth of jewelry, no problem. 500 of which has diamonds in it in some way, shape, or form.
We'll have to repeat that when Michelle is back.
Yep. And Michelle is back.
500 gold worth of diamonds.
Michelle, like I said, they managed to steal about 1,500 regular jewelry that they could pawn, and then about 500 gold worth of jewelry that has diamonds in it.
Perfect.
So, good amount of good haul. Let's see, who else do I need to go to?
You ever get an
I know.
anxious pit in your stomach?
I know who I need to go to.
That's not normal.
Asher, you don't currently find well, Cody, I mean, I have news for you, buddy. Asher, you don't see anything magical here. Not
Okay.
on this floor. Darius, as you are poking around in the basement, you will see that there is definitely one case here that looks to be special in some way, shape, or form. There is proper binding, like iron binding or bands that are run across the actual case itself, but still made mostly of glass, all for the purpose of displaying this thing, all for the purpose of showing the world. It's this gorgeous necklace, carved mostly of jade medallions that are going around the entire necklace itself, that are well carved and carefully engraved with little gold beads and onyx beads that go between it. It is quite beautiful. And judging by the casing around it, it's quite valuable too. And then, as you are looking at it, you will see just a shape move just to the side of you on top of one of the storage boxes.
Yay.
I don't look at it, it's not real.
And you will see two angry, dull red eyes looking at you.
Loose!
I need you to make me a strength saving throw, please. Oh, no, sorry, a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, no.
As you feel the ground below your feet become slick with grease.
Grease? Does that cat have the fucking grease spell? That's a 19.
That's a 19. You catch yourself just barely as you realize that the ground below you has now been covered in a 10-foot square of thick, slick grease. And judging by the circle that appeared in the air, it was loose that cast it on you.
Rude cat.
You
This is-
just threw him to
I'm not
monsters!
rude. I'm not saying he's rude. I'm not saying shit. Darius will just, with a death grip on something, go, that's fair play.
I'm saying it.
Fair play. Are you gonna keep glaring at me, Luce?
You thought your life was hell before.
Darius will just carefully reach back into her bag and pull out a piece of jerky and go,
Lucius continues to stare you down the entire time.
I have a feeling this is gonna come back to bite me in the ass later.
Does that mean he died?
Yeah,
Okay.
he dies all the time.
He dies almost as much as Ruben.
I
You
think
guys are very mean to your familiars, and I really can't get behind it.
Okay.
I cherish my little man.
Hold on, to be fair, this is not my familiar.
I mean, technically, he's your forced familiar.
Fitz has been watching this entire thing from the staircase to the basement
But
with the little barn owl frog on his shoulder. You will have a very toxic relationship between yourselves.
Darius will just carefully reach out, pick up Luce, put him out of the grease circle on the other side towards the stairs.
Fitz, you will watch as the form of Luce slinks back up the stairs.
As Luce goes by, Fitz is like, oh, I had no part on that, and tries to like lightly pet Luce on the way by. Just a little head pat.
Luce does not seem pleased.
Hey, didn't get scratched by a cat. That's a win, boys. Win's a win.
And Darius will just say in the earpiece, I found something really valuable down here.
What is it?
I cannot begin to explain this thing to you, Kaz, but you specifically need to see it.
Okay.
Look out for the grease. And she didn't mention the grease in the basement, but there's grease.
Oh, and I need someone else to look around because I'm trying desperately not to fall. So I haven't really been able to look much.
Here's that video of the guy with the snow shovel where he just falls for like 2 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Grease on the floor.
But if someone else wants to look down here, I'm kind of holding on for dear life not to fall. I am not steady.
So, are you guys going to make your way down to the basement? Or more accurately, who's going to go to the basement? Who's going to stay upstairs?
I will go to the basement.
Fitz is in the basement? Kaz in the basement? Asher, you go in the basement? It's up to you, dude.
Yeah. Asher's gonna stay at the top of the stairs.
Okay. Asher stays at the
Yeah,
at the
just
top
keeping
of
an
the
ear
stairs.
out for everything.
Okay. Busy. I'm assuming you're gonna keep on your watch. Yep. Yes, Jillian.
What was that?
This is just a question. Can you prestidigitation the grease spell away? Is that allowed?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it specifically is not magical effects.
It goes away in a minute.
Yeah, it'll go away in a minute.
And
So yeah, it technically I think Cody is correct. It doesn't work on magic-based things.
also, in terms of conflicting magical effects, you typically need something of equal strength to higher.
And it is a little
like-
stronger.
Well, here's what happens.
Light, daylight, and
Okay.
darkness.
Fitz knows when it was cast and is counting down the seconds, and at the exact second that it goes away, Fitz pretends to cast prestidigitation and tries to be really cool about it.
You dispel the grease, leaving behind nothing but the faint smell of pig pork lard. I will say
Pig
lard. I was
Pig
gonna call
lard.
it bacon grease, but I was like, nah, I don't know if bacon grease would be.
Grease smells better.
Bacon grease smells better than lard. Yeah. As I described, you're looking at a beautifully carved jade necklace. It is inside of a entirely glass case with metal banding going all around it, and it looks to be very well locked. Nothing stopping you from taking the case, though.
Is this magical in terms of locked or?
Not magical locked, but definitely complicated as locks go.
Oh god. Not the complicated locks.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, we just put it in the bag of holding.
We should probably put anything that looks valuable down here in the bag of holding and break it later.
Yeah. Well, the case is valuable though.
And I don't know what's in these stone crates, but they're pretty light.
If you try to unlock it, I'll be moral support. Cheer you on from the sidelines.
I think you should break it later when Fizzy can give you some guidance.
You want me to break the lock now, or like
Later.
unlock it? Oh yeah.
I think you should pick it, because you're an excellent rogue and everything you do is fantastic. Great job.
How many lockpick kits do you have on you right now?
I know you have a kid. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, but if you break your pick,
That could suck.
we'd be without a lockpick for the rest of the time we're down here.
That I haven't used? No, that's true. Let's just put the valuable, complicated one in the bag of holding. Especially if Asher can find a way to unlock it easier.
You can also just sell it in the box.
I want to know what the necklace is.
Also, I'm like 90% sure since it's wrapped in iron, it probably has a curse on it.
Yes. So are you putting it in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
When you dump it in, you hear a small splash because the bag of holding is still like half filled with water.
I forgot about that.
You know, it's in a case, so.
And also, I'm grabbing everything that was on that desk and just
Okay.
shoving it
You
into
just
my own bags.
got it. You just you take the very fragile, very old paperwork, and for a moment think to put into the bag of holding, and then realize that bag of holding is full of water, and then you put it in your bag. So, you guys have an unidentified necklace in a case. Unsurprisingly, I did not make the actual case itself, but I did do artwork for the actual necklace. That is what it looks like.
Oh, it's this.
As it slowly loads. Oh yeah, that one.
You have not identified it yet. I will not tell you what it does. So, you guys are all posted up inside of this old jewelry store. A nice collection of loot in your bags. What's the plan now?
Wait it out.
Wait it out? Can't hear you.
I mean,
I'm upstairs listening to see if I hear the shuffling change back to what it was before all of this happened. Basically.
I'm not good at perception, but I'm also upstairs listening. Granny's posted up near the barricade, like, you know.
Okay.
Fine.
Perception check from Granny. You already rolled one, Michelle, so I'm
Great.
not worried about that.
It's fair.
Also
I'm gonna do
listening.
normal because I'm more listening, looking.
That's 20.
All right.
Cool. I love that.
Granny finds out she's part drow and she can now see in the dark and she's got great eyes. Crazy.
So, between Fizzy and Granny, you guys are both kind of like figuring out what sounds about right for how they should be moving around. And it'll take a good hour, but eventually you guys both come to the conclusion that it sounds like it has gone back to normal.
Should be
Alright.
safe now.
I'm assuming my password of the trees is like running out. Like we probably have like 20 minutes on it at most.
Yeah, you won't have much time left.
So if we're gonna leave, we should probably go now.
And I would advise going out that window Tana found so that we are out of sight. Like there's a whole building between us and our watchtower friend.
Back on the road we go.
Okay. You guys carefully slip your way out through the window into the back alley. And we're going to take a quick break there, and then we're going to have you guys do some more stealthing.
Or stealthing.
And
Be right back.
Great news, everyone. I have a +1 going forward for these stealth checks.
God, do you need it? Okay.
Hey.
Is it wrong?
So, you all have pilfered a store, but you did get held up by about an hour, so that is unfortunate. I'm going to need a round of stealth checks from everybody.
I saw somebody online with a revolutionary way to contest the DM at the table.
Beat him up.
No, when you get told to roll something, just go, no, I don't want to. Works every time.
I think in this case, it just means you're not stealthing, which...
Jeez,
Defaults to it.
Becca has all the good
Just at that point, I
rolls.
just assume your character's sprinting down the street.
You want this one?
You know, I am prepared for that. I could cast
Oh, yes.
Expeditious Retreat.
You and Costella.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Rest of the party, though, not so much.
Yeah.
To an animal and just like go
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah,
So, like
but
3 of
everyone's
us.
fucked.
I think if
I'll just turn into a horse and write.
I-
Someone could write me.
if Fizzy became a horse, and did action to dash, with Expeditious Retreat, Tana would have the same movement speed.
Finally,
And then
someone
Kaz would
could
just
match
be like
Kaz.
next county.
Michelle, when you pulled your microphone out and you had your hand over top of it, I thought you were whipping out a fucking Glock. I was like, what are you doing?
Fizzy's done messing around.
Missy's fucking tired of it.
Only one person in this group has one.
It looked like it. I was like,
Izzy's fucking strapped.
With an Amazon package, you get it, dude.
I got this on Amazon. Anyway, send it to
Can I
anyone.
buy a Glock on Amazon? Let's find
How
out.
this a wild shape?
Hold on, let me just see.
I'm usually a
Amazon.com,
healer, but-
Glock.
Yeah. I mean, they sell
Can I
toy guns,
buy-
but I don't think they sell real ones.
No, I can buy. You can buy a Glock air pistol, but that's about it. Just imagine getting a fucking Glock off of Amazon. Okay, Michelle, what'd you get?
Heard of a DPS Mercy Main?
Oh, okay. We determined there's like 20 minutes left on.
Yeah, you don't. You're running out of time. You have 20
Okay.
minutes left.
So, 26.
26. Okay, Granny.
That 20.
Natural 20. Tana?
7 plus 17, so 24.
24. Asher.
Oh, total of what did I have? 24.
24. Costella.
17 and add the other number.
34 total.
34 total. No, 37.
37.
I don't
37.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Darius.
17 on the die plus 3 plus the 1 because I rolled a nat 1 plus the 10 for 31.
Fitz.
12 on the die plus 1, 13 plus 10, 23.
See, you guys don't need to worry about me opening a soda. You're
Yes, we
rolling
do all the
fine.
time.
Good run of numbers we've had this entire
Oh,
time.
shut up, nerds. There's
You rolled
only
a
been
nat 20.
Yeah, and there's only been one natural one. It's been from you.
There's no need for that.
And Jace,
Jace
Edward's
And
got
Jay's-
one.
Jay's got 2.
Mhm.
Jay's got 1 too, actually. 2.
I've rolled multiple 2s.
So you guys begin slinking your way out of the store through the alleyways, through the side streets, so you can try to make your way further and further down through these caverns. The critters all have appeared to have gone back to normal, which is good. Fizzy, as you are moving past one of the buildings, you will see that the one that you guys chose to go into was a good decision. As it looks like a few of these buildings are basically full to the brim, as they are basically either standing shoulder to shoulder or in a few cases all kind of hunched and like crouching and resting in there, maybe. But it
She's
looks
just-
like you guys are lucky.
She just whispers, "Good job, Granny." And she's like, "Good job, good choice." So you just
I don't
gotta-
know why, but okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
In time, you guys will be able to make your way through to the other side of the city itself, where it looks like the cavern begins to slope downward and make its way into what would either be a very large cavern or some kind of a tunnel that was hewn away and then kind of left to its own devices. It's more than large enough for all of you. It is, honestly, would probably be big enough for Asher's cart. No problem. So there's plenty of room, not claustrophobic. It's honestly probably the most relaxing walk you guys have had in quite a while.
Don't trust us with that.
Okay. So you guys will have a little bit of walking ahead of you. A handful of hours. Are there any actions you guys would like to do in the meantime? No? Alrighty. So, making your way through this large cavern, you can see that bioluminescent mushrooms of various sorts have begun to sprout along the walls, and you can hear the occasional chittering of some kind of creature down here. Creatures, more accurately. You just hear the distant sound of something going.
Familiar to me at all?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
But Fizzy, with your perception check, you can occasionally see the kind of rotund shapes of creatures that are kind of like walking their way through the mushrooms or around small caverns that have been hollowed out over time. They don't appear hostile. They appear to be maybe a little cautious of you all. That'll be about it.
Kind of makes me wish I had Animal Messenger right now. Because at least this trip wouldn't be so far. Maybe tomorrow. I don't think I have it, so. Alright.
As you begin to delve further and further down the caverns, you'll see that the creatures themselves aren't following you, but it looks like a large number of them have begun to populate these caves, and they are effectively living here untouched in some way, shape, or form. You'll also see that further down the cavern, it is starting to get hotter. Like, noticeably hotter. And as you eventually make your way into what looks to be a larger, more open area, you can see that there is what looks to be magma. That is gently bubbling far below you all in what looks to be a large pool.
But Plain make up its mind. It's odd and then it's cold and then it's odd and then it's cold.
Just don't dig straight down, and everyone
Diamonds
got
can be found
sacks
on
of
16.
gravel.
I have a bucket of water. We can just pour it.
We have most of a bag of holding of water.
Wait, I
Don't
think
think it would
also,
help.
I think I still have create and destroy water.
I don't think it would
prepared.
help.
I know from Minecraft that if we pour the water on there, that lava's gonna go
It's
away.
gonna turn into obsidian, and that's a
There's
real
diamonds
use.
around. We need diamonds. We're on the right level for diamonds, guys.
Connor
Fucking
regrets.
nerds.
Hey,
Fucking
Connor.
dorks. Yeah.
So it's just a pool of magma, right? It's not like
Yeah, it's just a pool. There's no signs of any kind of circulation or what have you. It looks like it is just a pool of lava.
I miss Ro.
It's perfect. She had no flaws.
She had many flaws,
She was the most perfect halfling in the whole entire.
but she also had one of the greatest abilities in the whole game.
No flaws, no anything. Perfect. Ah, perfection. I achieved it once. Never again.
You tried to break the economy with a toddler-sized pearl.
It's true. While this is all happening, everyone's
There's
looking at
no
the
music,
lava,
apparently.
at the lava pool or magma pool.
Mhm.
Fitz is kind of like on the sidelines trying to get one of the little like creatures to come to him.
Okay, animal handling, please.
I feel like this isn't gonna be good, but it's what my boy would do. This is also a disadvantage because I
All ability checks.
Eepy boy. The missile is sleepy. He's eepy. Okay, that's a 6 on the die plus 2, 2, 7, 8.
You kind of put your hand out to try and call the little creature over, and you'll see that its little bandit masked face pokes out of the hole it's hiding in, and the raccoon then just kind of shuffles its way away from you.
Creature.
You will note that this area appears to be fairly safe. There don't look to be any spots where you're going to need to leap over lava or move past particularly unstable areas. But I would like perception checks from you all, if you'd be so kind.
Sick.
Natural one from
There
Granny.
it is. I had 2 natural 20s in a row. It's just balance.
So, Granny, what'd you get?
A nat 1.
Okay. Tana, what'd you get?
6 plus 5 for 11.
Asher?
4.
4. Cass?
11 plus 5.
16? Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Darius?
15 total.
What did Fitz get?
That's a natural 1, so
No.
shakes Granny's hand.
Another nat 1? Fizzy?
You know, thank God I exist. I think.
Yeah, I was like,
26.
Please
Jesus
don't
Christ!
explode.
Everyone else is
we
just
need
bumbling
you.
around in the dark, and Fizzy's like,
I am
To
good
be fair,
for one
3
thing.
of us still have disadvantage.
It's true. I am good for one thing, and that is perception checks.
Granny's just like, there's just lava down there.
it's hot.
Fix. It's just a pool. Does that? Fitz is like, it's magma, but.
Granny and Fitz, you watch as one of the raccoons begins making its way down towards the lava pool.
It's the video of the bear.
Yeah.
And you watch as it goes, and it leaves something there down by the actual magma, like nearby, and then picks up another similar looking one that looks a little bit cooked, and then starts taking it away with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking uses food.
they're cooking food.
That's so cute.
Just like a people.
Just like people.
Well, it worked for them.
What is distracted by this? Max is just gonna lean over to Ash and go, "Are our friends okay?"
I am not quite sure.
While they are distracted, Fizzy,
Oh, yeah.
you'll notice a handful of things. First and foremost, you will note that scattered alongside the floor of this room, there are small coins, like silver, copper, gold, platinum coins. Like a few of them, not much, like maybe enough for a pouch. But there are gold coins here.
Sus. 'Cause that
You'll
means it's some
You'll
person.
also notice a few other things. This chamber's larger than it looks like it would be naturally. You can see signs of something having burrowed this out, made it a little bigger, scratched away at the walls until it had an even larger home. And the way that this pool of lava, or magma, is accessible to the land itself, there's a slope, like a gentle slope, but no signs of the lava having flowed down. So something made the slope, made it so it could go into the pool, and made this whole thing bigger.
This is an animal's home. A very big animal's home.
This is a very large animal's home. Or more accurately, you think it was.
Yeah.
The gold coins are left behind from something having taken its stuff and going away.
What would scare a giant creature?
Would this be a dragon's old home?
Possibly. You couldn't say what kind, though. That would be a roll. You'd have to check.
I'm gonna. She's not saying anything to anyone yet.
Okay.
Can I roll to see? Yeah, if I have knowledge. I've heard tales of dragons, so.
So this would be. I suppose this would technically be knowledge nature because
Oh.
It's a
Not-
question about how dragons behave, basically.
Not great at that. Oh, a 20 total. I
20
rolled a
total,
19 on
okay.
the die, and I have a +1 in nature.
The best
so.
roll that Fizzy will ever have for nature,
Right, unless I roll a natural 20.
unless you're rolling that 20.
But
Um,
yeah.
So
Druid.
deep underground, living near a very hot area, lava nearby. This has to be one of the fire dragons out there. Gold, red, or if I recall correctly, brass would be the three options that this could be.
Okay.
Anything else wouldn't like this area or would have changed it in some way to make it more fitting for its environment. Judging by the size, this thing was probably an adult coming to the age of becoming an ancient dragon. So it was getting older, and the fact that it's not here right now means it probably left because this was too small for it.
Okay.
It grew up.
It grew big.
It decided it needed somewhere else to go.
Got big. So while they're all distracted, and I see the coins, is there anything else I can see in the room besides that?
Besides the coins themselves, well, there's very clearly where the tunnels go somewhere else, of course.
Uh-huh.
Because I wouldn't dead end you. And then, I mean, nothing else that you could see. Now, this being a dragon that could have lived in fire, the possibility of something being under the lava, it exists. You don't know how the fuck you can get it on there.
So, as they're all cooing over an animal or like Fizzy's just kind of like going back behind them, picking up the coins, sticking them in her pocket. She knows they're tiny and they're useful. She doesn't know what they're, so she'll stick all the stuff in her bag. And she'll just be like, I think a dragon lived here. Not anymore, but I think a dragon lived here.
A dragon.
Mhm.
Wow.
I left because I think it got too big.
That's pretty far underground for a dragon.
Well,
Would have thought
sometimes-
it would want to stretch its wings a bit.
That's why it left. So
Wonder
I
if
pretty
it's still
big to
out
me.
there.
either a red or a gold or a brass. I don't know. My siblings used to tell me stories about dragons. That's kind of what I remember. But they're not here anymore. Not really anything else.
Probably
Left.
means there's a big enough food source nearby to support something like that. Or a way up to the surface pretty easily.
Oh, I'm sure there's a way up to the surface. Dana says, looking at the magma pit. Because we don't know where this goes.
You think the magma leads to the surface?
Well, it probably has an underwater channel. Well, under lava channel. That probably has a place like a volcano that it has access to.
Has anyone ever heard of... No, no one's from around here, right? So never mind.
I wonder if it does come up through the lake.
I mean, if you guys like, you can try to roll to figure out potential volcanic activity on Ekes. Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be a a roll for like I think history probably would be the best bet.
You know what? Fuck it. Maybe Fitz loves volcanoes. Don't know. I haven't figured that part out about him yet. Maybe
Fitz
that's
was a
his
geology
thing.
nerd once upon a time.
Yeah, maybe so. Alright, so this is gonna be at disadvantage.
I'm not gonna look at it.
I'm too tired. My brain ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, was that advantage? I would add another 20. This is a +7.
Yeah.
18.
18 total?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of volcanic activity on Ekes, at least not really. Like, there are earthquakes that'll happen, but not much in the way of volcanic activity. The one spot you could think of that had either a volcano or B, exposed veins of magma would be up near what's now known as the Eternal Wood.
That's what I was thinking in my brain. My brain, not Fitz's brain.
Basically, there's a large mountain there that does have volcanic activity, and there's a pretty large crevasse there that does have lava at the very bottom of it. So, the idea's sound, certainly.
Well, the most prominent area of magma is northern. It's entirely possible that this connects to the surface somehow. It's, maybe not a volcano, just a big hole in the ground with lava, magma. I certainly don't want to try it out.
I might actually need to roll because Tana might have passed by that.
This is true, actually. Tana would have walked past the crevice. Whether you looked inside is one thing. But you were near enough. It's possible.
Well, with a 5 on the die and no proficiency, I don't think.
No, Tana is not aware of it. You did not see it. But it's a fair point.
Well, I guess we can keep an eye out for an ancient, fire-breathing dragon.
You think it's friendly?
We'll see. 50-50.
Funnier than the things we just passed by.
Definitely. At least we can talk to it.
Does anybody here speak Draconic?
I don't think I do. I think it's just Elvish, Dwarvish, Gnomish. Yeah, no
Okay.
Draconic from me.
That was Connor asking a question because I didn't think anybody here knew Draconic, so I was just curious.
You don't hear the draconic chanting that's happening from the raccoons.
Oh,
Nobody understands.
the raccoons are the dragon cultists. Who needs kobolds? I have raccoons.
They're little
It
babies.
makes more sense if you think about it.
Kobolds?
Yeah.
It's true.
I think that raccoons are smarter than kobolds. No offense to
Yeah.
kobolds.
Some
They
of
might
them
be,
are.
actually.
Some of them definitely are. Which is
Oh my
just kind
God.
of sad for the
Fucker's
the kobolds.
raccoon.
Um,
On the other hand, a raccoon is so greedy and short-sighted that it will stick a paw in a log with like angled nails and grab a piece of tinfoil and not think to let go of the tinfoil to get its paw back out.
yeah, unfortunately, that can be a little dumb.
I do love the idea of a raccoon going to reach into like a dragon's horn, but doing that thing where it's like like looking at the dragon like, I see you, we see each other, I'm gonna keep reaching unless you get mad at me.
Unless you say no, I'm doing this.
Even
Pretty
if you say
much.
no, I'm still gonna do it.
You guys can easily go for another 4 more hours of travel. Nothing stopping you from doing that. If there are any things you would like to do here, let me know. Otherwise, I will just continue on.
Let's go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything I need with a pool of magma, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, other thing that you will note, Fizzy, there are signs of travel. There are signs of traveling having been done, coming from that city area down further.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is it a
So
lot?
it's a fair amount of travel, certainly. You wouldn't say a lot, but like it's enough to be noticeable.
Okay.
Ouch. As you guys continue your way down further and further and further, you will note that there are signs of roads again. Actual like brick pathways. And the roads here are all made to be fairly easy to walk on. Spots where there are stairs, others where there are slopes, and where railings most likely once upon a time did exist. Asher, your trained eye as a metallurgist, you would see that there are also signs that mines were here or existed in some way, shape, or form, but they are not here any longer, or at least there's nothing of value to be taken from them in any way, shape, or form. But like you can see the telltale signs of carefully made caverns, support structures, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You will also note that at a certain point, you all will see that there is what looks to be one of the creatures. But it's not moving. It looks like it is just stop moving completely. It's at a complete standstill, arms slack at its sides, staring straight ahead, further down the cavern.
Interesting. On it.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably do that. Can we see whatever it's looking at?
No, but it is looking down the hole, further down the way that you guys are traveling.
We'd be concerned about that.
What?
I have my light up at this. You can see it. I'm hoping it's deactivated. Maybe it got lost, left behind.
I mean, we should just... It's one, so we should be okay if it wants to fight us. Honestly.
I have a question. I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong or not, but when we fought like the bigger group, the less there were, weren't they like less organized and like less like I don't like not cognizant, but like
They're not effective on their own.
Yeah.
At all. I can say that pretty confidently. You can say that pretty confidently, to be honest. They don't work well on their own. It's still probably very smart. Like it doesn't have anybody else to talk to or work with, so you're not sure. Maybe it just kind of stopped.
He's lonely. If he's cold, if you're cold, he's cold.
No.
I have an hard time caring about it.
If we really wanted to test it, we could like wave a hand in front of its face. I don't want to be the one to do that, though. Not without permission.
We'd have someone stand at his back ready to kill, and another waving a hand. Maybe it can communicate. We found the one that can talk.
I think that's...
Alright. If you want to stand... Yeah, you stand at the ready, with Fitz holding the sword? Glaive? No.
Shard.
Shard.
Just easier to
Jenny's
get
just gonna
distance.
go up and like wave her hand in front of its face to see if it reacts.
Put your hand from its face, give it a wave. Nothing.
Wave.
Oh my god, it's got depression.
I think it might be broken.
Well, there's nothing we can do for them, honestly. So we should just.
I mean, they tried to kill it, so.
Let's continue on. Personally,
Yep, I'm not gonna worry too much about this one.
If he's still here on the way back, take him with us, maybe.
You really
don't
feel
know.
bad for this one?
This is the worst pet ever.
Does it have the same kind of like emotions as the others have? That like kind of shattered, empty.
Yeah, it's in the exact same state. It's broken.
Maybe it just needs some sun. They're a bit pale down here. Maybe it'll help.
Go back to the magma if you want.
No, I just feel bad for it. It's all by itself. I don't know. You're just
Your
feeling
heart's-
too much.
Your heart's in the right place. Just don't know what we can do for it. Can't exactly
But
carry it.
Nothing now. Nothing now. If it was meant to be, it'll still be here on the way back. And then we'll figure something out, whether that be putting it out of its very sad misery or finding it a forever home. I'm not really sure what we're
Could
gonna do
always
with this.
bring it back to the city. And once it's close enough, it'll probably relink with the.
Shuffle them off.
Yeah.
There you go, little guy.
The more you guys talk,
What?
your bleeding heart is gonna get you bit.
No, it's not.
I think such kindness should be encouraged.
Darius is just gonna reach over and feel for a pulse.
Little guy.
It does have a pulse of a sort. Its heart beats differently from a normal humanoid, but it is alive.
Like I said, we don't have to do anything with it now. Just thought I'd put the idea out there. That maybe we can help it somehow. Not now, but later. Bye, little guy. See you later.
as we walk away.
Actually, Tana would like to kind of grab it kind of by the waist and turn it maybe 90 degrees and see if it stays in that position or if it turns back to facing down the tunnel.
It will stay in the position you place it at.
I think he's just broken.
Continuing down further into the cavern, you all continue your march for another hour. And in that hour, you'll actually see there are another probably 2 or 3 in the similar position as that last one. Then you go for another hour. Then you'll see that there are more. Close to the double digits. All of them stopped, staring down further into the cave, further into the cavern. Three hours, and you're now seeing larger numbers of them. In clusters sometimes. In other cases, spread out from each other. But you're seeing them getting closer to triple digits now. And they're all staring in the same direction. They're all staring down further into the cavern. At 4 hours, there are many down here. Many. Standing like statues. They are almost like these guardians that are framing this pathway as you continue down further and further. All of them staring forward, all of them staring down, all of them looking towards the bottom of all of this. And you can see all kinds of them. It becomes apparent that these were people. Elves, dwarves, humans, orcs, half-orcs, everybody, anything, all twisted by something to have these bulging eyes. Some of them have blossomed and have the odd sprouts coming from their head. Others became the strange amalgam of flesh that you saw at the top of the tower. But every single one of them has stopped and is staring down further into the cavern.
Do you think they were trying to go where we're going?
Possible.
If they were people at some point, maybe they thought they could cure themselves. They weren't fast.
With the fourth hour of travel, it becomes apparent to you all that there is moisture in the air again. It's warmer now, humid, almost rainforest-like, as currently you all can't help but notice a cleaner smell in the air. You also can't go more than a handful of steps without seeing another of those creatures standing and staring forwards. And the path begins to level off. The brick pathway that you are following looks like at some point it had plinths or placards or something of the sort that was intended to tell people what lies ahead or where they're going. Maybe like a tourist trap. It was supposed to tell you what exactly you're looking at and the very history of it. But as of now, those plaques are ruined, scratched and clawed and broken away by small hands, human hands, that desperately broke at it, reducing it to rubble, leaving nothing legible behind for you all to see. And in time, you find yourself at a spot where the path is leveled out completely and the cavern opens up. And now you're looking at a wide, long, open hall of cavern, for lack of a better term. There's nothing in here of note. Small growth of fungus, plant life, maybe some creatures that have begun to crawl around here, but everywhere there are more of these creatures. They're staring in one direction, all of them. At the very center of this area, you can see a pool, a massive one at that. Wide and circular, it appears to take up a good chunk of the inside of this cavern. It almost glows, the water itself. It almost seems to have a brightness to it. But as you guys begin to come closer, it's like walking through a mosh pit. All of them, all of these creatures have crowded around it and are staring down at it, every single one of them looking down at the pool. And they all seem frozen in lockstep. Like they got here and then stopped. The pool, to you all, glows faintly, and at the very bottom of it, there's a dark, almost like a black liquid, like putting oil in water. That kind of seems to bubble and float up a little bit, but never come to the surface completely.
Does this match up with our map?
Yeah?
Is this it?
I didn't think... Not to put it...
This feels weird.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
Fitz,
Uh...
is it okay if I test something before you
Because I'm really not
Yeah.
sure if I drink it or swim in it or.
There's
Tell
his.
us, tell us what you're gonna do before you do it.
I'm gonna take a container, fill it up, and splash it on one of these things.
Okay.
I don't want it.
It's
I
not
don't
that
want
I don't
us.
trust you. It's that I don't want you to be reckless.
No, that's fair. I don't want to touch it, but I don't want Fitz to touch it and potentially melt skin.
That's gonna happen anyway, regardless.
You know what I mean,
Bastard.
We could potentially ask the book how to use it as well.
That is also a wonderful point. I'm really scatterbrained right now because
Understandable.
Barris is already dipping something into the water.
Okay, are you worried about your hand touching it or no?
I'm not touching it. I'm using
Okay.
I'm gonna drain out my canteen and just dip it in and pull it out by the string.
Okay. The canteen appears fine. It's full of water, fairly clear.
And just pour it over the top of the head of the closest one to me.
You pour it over the head of one of the nearby creatures, and you watch as the water touches and flows over the creature's head. As it begins to flow over them, their skin looks like it gains a little bit of life briefly. And their eyes almost look like they would start to return to a normal form. But as the water flows over them completely, you watch that where it touched, they start to crumble apart.
This is why we did this before we touched it.
They
What up?
fall to pieces, leaving just a skeleton behind.
Well, maybe it's something with them and it's different.
Maybe they've been like this for a very long time. Beyond what their life should have been.
That's fair. That actually makes a
Um,
lot of sense.
Fitz, if you hand me the book, I can.
Maybe it's a side effect of using it too much.
Plan on using it that much, just the once is fine for me.
I'll also put some in.
I'm offering myself because I have lots of health.
So I also have healing still, and I have the
Yeah, but I don't know how much we'll need to access.
Better not
Um,
more.
In the book.
The
I'm
map.
gonna- It's better to have more than less. Is my whole thing, my whole thought process.
Alright. Well, if you're gonna share the weight,
Yeah.
I'll put in 25.
Yeah, I was gonna put in 25 as well.
50 total. And I'm gonna ask, how do we use what Granny would remember this, the official name of the fountain that breaks curses?
The way shrine. It's a way shrine a way shrine with the effect to break curses.
How do we use a way shrine to break curses?
Okay. The book will say very simply, in return, in the writing of in your blood, submerge yourself inside of it.
I would say do an identify before, if possible, but
Asher can.
I will
Ooh.
say, as soon as Fitz sees that it says submerge, Fitz is starting to unbutton his coat.
oh god, I'm so scared.
Asher, identify it before Fitz gets in the water, please.
Take the sash off and
Give me a few minutes. And Asher is going to sit down and ritually cast Identify.
We could
Okay.
push one of them in.
We already just tried.
Well,
right.
it wasn't fully submerged.
Their curse might be the only thing keeping them up right now. Maybe that's why they're all staring at it. Because some part of them wants to be free, but they still don't want to die.
I prefer the latter if I was like that.
It's a basic human need to stay alive. Believe me, I know.
Seeing as they're so close to it down here, maybe the fountain was involved in their curse.
That's
Fated to
also
not touch the one thing that could save them.
All of you sit and ponder the reality for these creatures, while Asher begins to cast Identify upon this way shrine. Asher, this is a way fountain. A few of these were created before the schism. They were intended to be available to people who would be going past them. A way fountain. Most of the time they were imbibed with some kind of magical effect that would have something to do with helping someone in some way, shape, or form. Others were less predictable. But this one is a way shrine to remove curses. It is designed to remove curses from people. Whatever happens next for the curse, though, that depends on the person.
What is that? Does that mean we should get Zandy here and you submerge
Brutal,
at the same time?
Jesus Christ.
I was like, whoa, wait, hold on.
I mean, I will point out one thing that you guys could very easily do to find out maybe why they fall apart like this. Someone can check to see how old they are.
I mean, I figured that was it.
Fitz very swiftly hustles up to one and just
starts smacking them around.
They're easily over 2,000 years old.
Schism people.
That'll do it. 2,000 years, that'll just turn it right to a skeleton.
It'll break their curse, but then
The curse
they'll
is
turn to dust.
it broke the curse, and then nature did the rest of it.
But are they still
shouldn't
alive?
be alive.
Like, is their soul still in there?
I can't touch people and know that.
I know.
Have soul detecting hands. I'm so sorry. I
Alright.
haven't adopted that.
I have a if something happens, I have a revivify. So,
Okay. Well,
Realize Granny could like control water.
no,
madre.
I can't
All of them.
control it. I can only create it.
That would be funny. Like,
It would have been.
sorry, I had
guess-
to order food.
No, I can tell. You're fine.
I guess Fitz. I think this is it.
Yeah.
I
Again,
think
I have something happens.
submerge.
I'm prepared. I think you'll be okay.
It'll be fine. I know how to swim. I can swim. And Fitz's hair is up in like a bun. And he's taken everything off except for like his little pants. So no shoes, no shirt. His whole entire backbones are exposed. Nasty little man.
Don't think, mister, you want a rope tied around you.
Pretty
I
strong
don't think it's
swimmer.
that deep, is it?
If something grabs me, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's probably how I deserve to go at the hands of the curse breaking fight. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna hop in. I'm not even nervous.
invite.
No.
I don't
Lying.
inside.
Lying.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Asher, you have a look on your face like you want to say something.
Just to make sure, as you go to step in on this, be very clear about what it is in terms of the curse that you want to break and what you want to happen. With Identify, could Asher tell if it's divine or is this man-made?
What's divine?
It's divine in nature. Again, they all think very broadly. Think specifics, keep that in your mind. You are a great spellcaster, I know you can do that.
Oh, flattery will get you nowhere. Except for into my heart as one of my closest friends, and then Fitz will very nervously put like his first foot in the pool and start like getting in there.
As you're going in, Darius is just going to lean down, squeeze your shoulder, and go, "Your parents would be proud of how brave you're being."
We're right behind you.
It's not fair. I'm just kind of kerplunk.
Fitz, you submerge yourself into the fountain in front of you. And as you allow yourself to go deeper into the clear, almost glowing water, all you can see below you is the dull, inky black oil-like material at the very bottom of this pool. And as you hold your breath and allow yourself to sink in a little bit, you will watch as the black oil begins to rise up towards you a little bit. And everybody else standing on the outside, you watch as the oil surrounds Fitz and pulls him down.
Awesome.
We had water breathing on still today, correct?
I don't.
You
Fitz
don't
doesn't
breathe.
need
don't
to
have to
breathe.
breathe.
This doesn't have to breathe.
Yeah.
Don't forget that, y'all.
Oh, never mind.
It's okay.
I don't need to
Yeah,
be
I was
concerned.
like,
It's okay.
just let it happen. Trust in Fitz.
While this is occurring, you are the more perceptive of you, namely Izzy. You are aware sound of something approaching from behind. And as you all are standing there looking down at Fitz, who has just submerged themselves completely, you turn back and you look and see that there's a lone figure that's come down from the cavern that you all came down and went past all the creatures that you went past, but doesn't appear to be breaking a stride, and it's been sprinting non-stop ever since it got here, ever since you made it leave its bag, ever since you shoved it into the chest.
Hey!
Sprinting.
Hey, what
Get the
happened if you-
chest! Get the chest!
what
Like
happens if
literally.
you think we force it into the water?
And you all watch as this creature, as it is sprinting towards you all, as you watch as it grows.
Oh no.
Its twisted limbs grow longer. Its legs stretch outward more. Its chest flexes and twists and bends in unnatural ways. And a creature the size of a tall man has become the size of a tall building, and it rushes towards all of you.
Oh.
But it's the size of a building.
Tall building.
Oh.
Asher is splitting off to the right.
While that's happening, Fitz.
Awesome.
Let me just quickly.
We should all hop in. The water's fine. It's better down here. Probably.
Fitz.
Yeah.
What is your happiest moment?
I think that Fitz's happiest moment is like an abstract of like being a teenager, like being young. And like after a certain point of realizing something about himself, and telling his parents, and his parents accepting that, becoming Fitz, the day he became Fitz. And it was met with like unending support, and like there was never a question of anything. It was just like the perfect day.
On that day, more accurately, a few days later, Fitz, you remember how you met your mentor. You met Zandy. See, he was brought towards you because your father passed the word along, and they reached out. They said that you needed some help, and Zandy offered. And you remember the first day you met them. They wore white robes as always, towered above everybody else. But there was always this something of a down-to-earthness to them. They came here because they understood what you were asking for, and because they could help you. They are one of the most powerful spellcasters here on this continent. They likely have other things they could be doing. And yet, when your dad asked, they came. And maybe that affected how you thought about them. Maybe that made you consider them as a good option for a mentor. Maybe that made Fitz just also more likely to choose them or ask for them. I mean, what Fitz didn't know was that Zandy did have a harder life as a kid. Their mentor trained them the way that Zandy tried to train you. Their mentor was abusive, was vicious, was mean. They used hostility and tricks, curses, and hexes, all to try and get the reaction from Zandy to make them do what they had to do to become better. You never would have known that that animal was still there in Zandy. It wasn't possible. You never could have. Zandy didn't even know it was there. But it was. Now you're cast back to that moment when Zandy finally cursed you. There you were at the library. You tried over and over again to cast a basic spell, over and over again to follow their instructions, over and over again to show the talent that Zandy so desperately wanted you to have, because if she couldn't teach you, then it was a failure on her part, and her mentor was right. So she did what she could. She became angry and she cursed you. And here in this pool, submerged under the water, looking back, you do realize at that moment, it did affect her. The rebound already happened. You were in so much pain you couldn't see it. But bits of her were falling off too. They were already falling apart when they cast that curse on you. Fitz, what was your worst moment?
I mean, probably the moment he was cursed. I mean, that's kind of like the big one. That's kind of the amalgamation of all of his failures. All of his perceived failures, at least.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I guess the days following of realizing, like, I can't go home, I can't,
Realizing the dream was over.
Yeah.
In those days that followed, you just kind of wandered. It was all that you could do. It was all that you could think to do. And then one day, you found a foul shard stuck in a stump. Honeyed words of cause. He told you what he had to tell you. He told you that he could make you better. You didn't know what you know now. You don't know what cause was. Cause was a creation made to manipulate. And you, Fitz, you taught them how to be more than just the creation. You taught them that you were a person and that there was something more to it. And then you met Muni with the help of your friends and with the help of Zandy. You got the map. And here you are. It's deep below the water. That oily material that surrounds you, you feel it begin to pull away at pieces of you. Fragments of you that are either so imbibed with the curse or so taken by it that there isn't much more for it to do except to pull, take. But it doesn't leave nothing in return. It supplies some material back and lets your body do the rest of the work to stitch itself back together as best it can. And at the bottom of this pool, the oily material pulls away, leaving behind a almost glassy surface of that black. And you float there, reflecting at it, and you see inside the reflection, you see Fitz. You see the curse that changed you behind you. You see Zandy, you see your friends, you see your parents, your siblings, you see everything that made you you. But most importantly, Fitz, you see who you wanted to be. And then the burning comes to your lungs, and you realize you need to catch a breath of air.
Did you take Fitz's warlock pack again?
Damn fucking right I did! You're not undying anymore.
Shit!
You will be a different warlock pact come next session. We will be discussing that later.
Okay. Fitz is panicking. Like,
Technically, I will point out, Fizzy would have given water breathing.
But it would feel different because
Yeah, but it takes away from the cinematic approach I was going for just then if I said that you could breathe.
I understand.
chill down there for a while.
But you didn't give Fitz ichor breathing.
I did give it. You're right.
it would still burn. I mean, your lungs haven't moved in how long?
It's like when you
A
stand up
few
and
weeks.
all of your knees crack.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's
Like your
Fitz,
lungs.
you're coming back.
dramatic.
Oh, we should probably quit interrupting the dramatic moment.
Well, also, fun fact, Fitz doesn't have to drink or eat, so at that moment, all of a sudden, Fitz is like, oh, I haven't eaten in 3 days.
The ADHD mood. Oh
Hungry.
shit.
Thirsty.
Fitz,
Yes.
you, lifting yourself up out of the water and catching the first breath of air you felt in ages, feel alive and desperately hungry, desperately thirsty, but more so right now, half clothed, barely prepared. You feel the adrenaline coursing through your body as you hear the voice of Muni screaming at you. Fight! Live! as you see the twisted man, now the size of a building, preparing to descend upon you all. And we'll be leaving off there for tonight's session.
Finished early because you have to prepare the fight, don't you?
I finished early because I need to make a bolognese for Becca.
Also, Fitz needs a new warlock class.
Also, Fitz needs a new warlock.
Thanks.
It was scary and I didn't like it. Oh my god.
Has Fitz look like a real boy?
Is that
Is he a
relevant to
real
you?
boy?
Is that relevant to you all right now? There's a monster down on you.
Yeah, my
pretty
character's
relevant
not
to
looking
me.
at the fountain right now, but
It is
I'm
kind of
the
the reason we're
player.
here, so it is relevant.
It's relevant, but there's a much more pressing
this.
situation.
Listen,
I
Bagman,
guess.
we're kind of in the middle of something right now. Could you chill for a second? Anyway, are you good? Shush! You transphobic or something? What's wrong with you? You hate trans people?
this bagman is transphobic.
Hey, question.
Pulls out a trans flag.
Hey,
You made the joke
I have a
I was about to
question.
make.
does Fitz still have his top scars?
Absolutely. Fitz absolutely scars. That's my little baby boy. They're not going anywhere. Very important.
Thank you also very much for being here for the session. I do hope you enjoyed. Very special thanks to my players. I hope you guys had fun. We'll be picking up next session with a fight.
Another one, and I. Which Fitz will probably be fighting half naked.
How
Awesome.
unfortunate.
Wait, that means your AC is gonna be like 10.
Did I think
How
we were gonna
unfortunate
get into
would
a
it be?
fight after I went swimming?
Yeah. How unfortunate would it be if Fitz just died immediately?
I know, it's like, we
No.
cured Fitz! Now we have to make sure he lives! Oh god!
My source told me I have
Fitz
to
is
live.
okay! Oh, he's dead! Fitz is okay, though!
He got twisted. Oh shit!
Could probably get Zandy here for the fight.
Yeah, I was literally already thinking of that. I have one rushed in can't left. I can use sending.
We tossed Zandy into the
I like
fountain.
the idea of tossing the bagman into the fountain.
Yeah, but he's the size of a building right now.
Yeah, he needs to not be the size of a building, and then
If we get his brain in there first, he'll start thinking clearly.
Also, we don't know if it's necessarily a curse, so I don't think it'll do anything.
Yeah.
If we put him in there, he comes out a sexy guy. Like Beauty and the Beast.
You
Garrus
never
is
know.
I
married.
don't.
Put him in
I
there,
don't-
come out. It's
I say
I
so
don't
she
know
is
what kind
uncloaked.
of I don't know what kind of meaning that would have behind it if I threw the horribly twisted person into a pool of water and suddenly came out sexy. I think the
He's
metaphor
right.
there is a little weird.
I think it should be Ryan Gosling. You should come out of there dumb as a bag of hair. Just stupid.
Sorry, guys. No, this is the wrong way fountain. You needed to find the way fountain of Kenergy for that.
We are on our fucking way.
We
Oh,
need
shoot.
it.
I
He
need
instead becomes Zac Efron.
No. All right.
Oh,
So
boy.
thank you all so very much for being here. If you enjoyed the show, please pass the word around, tell your friends. We stream regularly, every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Most likely, we are going to be picking back up, I'd say, our Tuesday streams, Jace, considering, yeah, you've got some more time and it'd be fun to do it.
Returning soon.
Halo.
But we're also on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and every other option out there. On iTunes, leave reviews, please. It's the only way that their algorithm works. On Spotify, just listen to us, because that's what their algorithm is based off of. But biggest thing and the most important thing you could do for us is spread the word. Tell your friends. We really do appreciate having folks listen to this, and honestly, it's always cool to have more folks show up and chat. It's very cool. But I need to do some cooking. I also need to make a token for a horribly twisted monster man. But that's a later issue for me. So with all that said, guys, say bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.